Okay. We're here for part 1 of The Roottrees Are Dead. Hello, YouTube. Hello, Mighty. Oh. Shoot, I need to move this down. See, it needs to be lower than the alerts, or not alerts, than the emote wall so that the emotes go over the top of it. Yeah, the problem is, though, I have to balance it both in OBS, where I could just turn the game up and down, but that doesn't affect how I'm hearing the game. Which is why I turned it down.
Because I was complaining.
Roottrees are dead. The mystery begins here. Roottree Mania. This mystery will unlock once you finish The Roottrees Are Dead. 2 games. Plot 1. Roottrees are loading. December 6th, 1998.
The plane that crashed last night just outside of Pittsburgh is now known to have been the private jet of the Roottrees Corporation. Local aviation authorities have speculated, based on the pilot's final communication, that the winter storm and heavy winds played a significant role in the crash. On board were multiple family members, including corporate president Carl Roottrees and his daughters, the Roottrees sisters, best known for their fashion lines and modeling careers. There were no survivors. Again, for those of you just joining us, the Roottrees are dead.
Anyone on stream the other half before? It's super okay.
I know it's late, but I'm guessing you've seen the news. In addition to dealing with the grief, the
yeah, Corey, I wish I had a mixer and I could pipe different things into it and then also listen to that and like use it for that. But I don't have one, so I have to do everything virtually. Roottrees Company's lawyers are scrambling.
Everything's about to change. Anyone proven to be a blood relative is about to get much richer. I'm here to ensure everyone is accounted for. I've heard you're an expert at sorting out complicated family trees.
Oh no.
A genealogy genie, as it were. I'm going to give you a quick test. Pass, and I can promise you the job of a lifetime.
Oh no, it's a test. Complete the family tree of the Roottrees sisters. Okay. This is like what we just did. One of them is married. Sleuth! Ready, set, go. First, play with the interface. Examine my evidence. Got milk picture. Person who hired you gave you this photo with a note attached. This was taken during the shoot for the Roottrees Sisters Got Milk ad. I've tracked down a test photo from before they painted the fake mustaches on. Oh, like got the milk mustache, right? Which I thought would be more appropriate considering the circumstances. The ad's copy reads, "You might recognize our faces from the magazine you're reading, or you might recognize our name from the candy bar you're eating. Being a Roottree is a full-time job, but so is growing up. That's why the calcium found in milk is so important. Plus, you can't make chocolate without it." Looks so fake.
The married one.
It's bad. Oh yeah, the blonde, blue-eyed one is the married one. Look, how are we supposed to distinguish between them? The one with the blue sweater. There you go. List of names. This list was provided to you by the mysterious person who showed up at your door. You'll need it to fill in the family tree. What?
Ah.
Okay, so their names are Candy, Carly, Gwendolyn, Gwyn, Christina, Lauren, Marguerite, November, Raina, Riley, Yikes, Samantha, Ortiz.
I'll go up. No.
There's also a Gwendolyn Moore and a Gwyneth Madsen. Tragedy. Yes, exactly. Was that on here? Rafferty LaRue.
Yeah,
I thought
and we
my
have-
last name was bad.
And we have LaRue up here. So
We probably have
Rafferty LaRue is a
married people. Some Rafferties. There's some more Roottrees. Elias,
More?
Elias Jr., Elias C., Elias M. Miracle
Miracle,
and Miracle
Miracle
Jr.
Jr.,
and
Miracle
Miracle the
the
Third.
Robert Ronald Wolf.
I thought that said Quidditch. It's Quaritch. Close. Okay.
Zoom in. No, zoom in on the picture of that.
Just the list, but in
It separates women and men.
typed out form. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Eloise. Okay, we reviewed the evidence. Oh, we have a whole board. So-
Yeah.
Yikes. Search the internet for clues. Well, I'm going to read the welcome text in my Windows 98. Welcome to the Information Superhighway. Thanks for purchasing a new Cashew PC. Your PC is equipped with a 56K modem, which is fast enough to access any site on the World Wide Web, even those with high resolution images. Note, at this time, high resolution was considered like 480. If you find anything interesting, be sure to print it out with your included high-end color laser printer. Or burn a music CD to listen to later. If you want to revisit a search result, be sure to use Netscape Explorer's, that's funny, new history feature. They combine Netscape Navigator and Internet Explorer. Make an unbranded, new, just for the game browser called Netscape Explorer.
This is why
This is why I just explained all that, because you don't know this, because you're not from this generation. Happy serving, and remember, Cashew PCs are delicious, asterisk. Cashew PCs are inedible, don't try to eat your computer. Where are the games? We only have internet. Where's my start button?
Father.
How many months in here? What? What?
I was telling you to go to the internet.
Okay.
I did earlier. And I went, "Ah, ah, ah." It says don't eat the computer. So I'm not.
Oh, she's pretending to eat the monitor. This is a monitor.
Monitor.
That's the computer.
I can't get all the way over there. This is like.
I know. I wanted to see the games. Spider
Our
search. This isn't how that's. You're not supposed to get a new icon on your desktop when you connect to the internet. Pro tip: you can create notes quickly by highlighting text with your mouse.
Sorry, this text can't be highlighted.
First few pages are filled with news results about the plane crash. Besides that, there are countless advertisements and conversations about the various products made by the Roottrees Candy Company. Most articles mention Carl. Do you want me to make a Google Doc to take notes in? Daughter? Want to write everything down for the whole game? Okay. Who wants to do it the old way? Fine. Most articles mention Carl Roottree, who is the president of the Roottrees Candy Company. His daughters are also eulogized. Yeah, eulogized. Collectively referred to as the Roottrees sisters, they've been famous from a very early age. The Roottrees sisters. There are lots of obituaries that focus on the Roottrees sisters' modeling careers. What's up, Coin? What is 2000? No, this is 98. It's in 1998. Come across an unofficial Roottrees fan site, seemingly curated by a teacher. Show me the fan site. Don't show me text. Jeez. Neon pink with purple text and hard to read until you highlight the words. Young webmaster writes, Raina is the most famous because she's the oldest and got married to TMS. Highlight. Look at that. We got built-in notes. Stop writing. Welcome. Welcome to your notepad. On each page, other than this one, you can jot down important information such as names, family relationships, marital status, sibling count, or anything else you'd like to remember. Tips. Page titles can be renamed to make it easier to remember what you've written on each one. Highlight any text in your web browser or evidence for the quick option to add it to your notes. You don't have to write anything. And we also don't need a Google Doc. They've got it built into the game. The entire contents of your notepad are saved even if you quit the game. So we can just do it twice. Don't forget to check them when you return. Family reminders. Siblings are referred to as... Okay, I know what cousins are. I know what second cousins are. I know what third cousins are. I actually know a lot of my second cousins, which not a lot of people can say.
I know a bunch of my third cousins.
And our kids know some of their third cousins, which are the kids of my second cousins. And nobody knows their third cousins. So, haha. My kids are the best. American school terms. K-12 is kindergarten through 12th grade.
For British people.
Schools produce yearbooks, which are... Okay.
Okay, continue reading.
How do we get the notepad? We click the button. We didn't explore all of the UI. I said first step, explore the UI. I didn't do it. You might think they're rich just because they're models, but their dad is also president of the candy company, and their mom, Brenda, is a fashion designer. They do the modeling for her brand, Root. I eat Roottrees candy all the time. My favorite are maple crisps and try to dress in plaid Root clothes. Oh, it's Root dot clothes like Riley does in most of the posters. Someday I want to get my ears pierced like Rose. So Riley and Rose are two of the sister names. The website's author continues to talk about her own life and what she likes about the Root dot fashion lines, but none of it's relevant.
Okay, look up TMS. We have their names. Look up TMS.
We only have two.
We have all three.
What's the third one?
Rena.
What? Rena. Oh, Riley is the smart one. The hose is a middle child. I only read the first sentence and then I highlighted the whole thing and didn't read the rest of it. That's what happened. Happy Friday, Conan. We did have a good day. Pretty good. Watched some astronauts come back from the moon, which was pretty rad. I did a bunch of work. EMS, the common abbreviation for early 90s teen heartthrob Tommy Mark Sheridan. So this is JTT. First credited role as Thomas Sheridan was on a soap opera called Time Marches Onward. Since the end of Brother Trouble, he's skyrocketed to popularity. I did the thing again where I highlighted and didn't read it. Skyrocketed to popularity after his starring role in the sitcom Brother Trouble. Since the end of Brother Trouble, he has often been on the cover of tabloids for his supposed drug use, and more recently his relationship with Raina Roottrees. Short engagement, they married in '97.
She's only 20. Okay, oldest, Rena. With an RH. Middle is Rose.
That was Riley.
No, Riley's the youngest.
Rose is the middle child.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay, you can do the youngest. The youngest is Riley.
Does that one have like a heart on it? Oh, that moved her to here.
Yeah, married.
So this is saying we have them on cards on our board.
Yeah. Spouse is EMS or Tommy Thomas.
What was their occupations?
Well, they're fashion actors.
Actor? Model.
And they're also students. Look at the middle one. No, not that. The name. Is there... just look up Roottrees. Back to the...
Who's not as popular as her older sister Raina, but still very well known. Most of the time they're lumped together as the Roottrees sisters. Fortunately, results for Rose by herself don't lead to anything. Escape Explorer.
Rose Roottrees. Rose... Look up Rose
Hold on.
Roottrees.
Someone isn't in the list of names that your employer provided. Doing a deeper dive on what you learn about them will often lead to additional discoveries. The research tip is make note of any brand names, books, product lines, or magazines you don't recognize and search for them. Any other ideas? Someone is prominent enough to be found online and that person goes by a nickname, you may get different results from searching for a nickname. This Carl was the president of the like, that's confusing. Oh, okay. Get started. Click on faces on your evidence tab.
We know Rose has an ears pierced.
So anytime we see faces here, we gotta click them.
Yeah. Raina is married, so she's the one with the ring, so that one. She wears plaid. That one. Go to Root. Look up Root.
Root Dot, the period is part of the name, is a clothing company. They make clothes for children from toddlers to teenagers. Although their website is down, likely due to increased web traffic, you find countless retail sites that advertise their clothes toward the target audience. One has this to say: despite the Roottrees sisters looking hecka fly,
Oh!
don't read it. On catalogs, magazines, and
Her
posters,
name's
now you too
Carly.
can be like Riley, Rose, or Raina. Also come across a website from a collector of clothing catalogs. Apparently, Root has released 2 catalogs per year every year since 1984. Raina appeared on almost all of them. There's only one that the webmaster considers a collector's item enough to mention. It seems that Brenda Roottree, the Roottree sisters' mother and Root's head designer, appeared on one cover holding her daughter Rose in 1985. The site says this was the only time her daughter was ever listed with her birth name,
Carly.
Charlie Roottree. Barley. Well done! Oh gosh. These 3 entries are correct and have been locked. We've also locked the following optional entry, Sheridan Thomas. Booyah! You did that. You're locked. Baby
Sorry
ladies
to
at the
test
door.
you, but I had to be sure you could use the internet. Some folks refuse to get with the times. Safe to say, you're hired.
What's your name?
The reward for untangling the family tree is substantial. Life-changing, even.
We're gonna die.
But here's the catch. The Roottrees go way, way back. The family tree's a bit daunting. Most people freak out the first time they see the whole thing. But I'm sure you'll be fine. The man who started it was particular about whom he considered family. For your purposes, you only need his direct blood relatives. Anyone related only by marriage is optional, but filling them in can lead to useful discoveries.
You have a leather jacket.
Lastly, you now have access to some unique websites, plus a list of notable Roottrees. Notable people are easy to find via your search engine, and marked with stars on the family tree. I'm off for now. Carl Roottree had a lot in his office. I'll look for anything useful. I'll return once you identify 6 more blood relatives. Sorry, one last thing. This might sound odd, but if anyone else claiming to represent the Rootrees reaches out, I'd appreciate you not mentioning I was here.
I don't even know your name.
Thank you, and good luck.
He's gonna kill us after.
Maybe. What do the stars mean?
Notable.
Notable. Sleuth.
Should start with.
Or the person who hired you returns. Each time you get 3 additional blood relatives in the family tree completely correct, name, occupation, and portrait, they will be locked in. All non-blood relatives and small portraits are optional, but placing them in the tree helps remove extra names and photos. You can open this envelope after the whole family tree has been filled in. It has 2 names that must be typed in manually. Clues are obscure, have been intentionally hidden in the past, and may even require some leaps in logic. Yikes.
Okay. Let's.
I remember what was that before.
17.
Emily Doku. Alphabet Davis's Ends and Beginnings, a young alphabet adventure. Alphabet Davis. What kind of name is Alphabet Davis? The erased names of the Genesis. Alphabet Davis on upside down and backwards. Reversus. Alphabet Davis, Secret Searcher. Password. You have a Game Boy. Yeah, that was kind of neat.
Oh, we got more evidence. Nah.
Right, this stuff. There's an advertisement for 5 pieces aimed at kids from the magazine Teen Blast. Mentions that the 5 pieces were named as such because the original creator had 5 children. The ad also mentions the current 5 flavors are not the same as back then. Okay, intuition. You've been in this line of work a long time. So long, in fact, you've developed a 6th sense for how useful your evidence can be. Numbers in the magnifying glass refer to how many clues are connected to a specific piece of evidence. The higher the number, the more there is to find. At the start of your search, the notables list sets off alarm bells. A list of famous people you could find via search engine. Pretty rare to get something that useful. Best take advantage of it. As you progress, these numbers will change. Whenever you find more evidence or lock in family members, new discoveries will be added to the list and old evidence will become less useful. Trust your intuition. If a piece of evidence seems too good to be true, take a closer look at the people or phrases it mentions. Often the most satisfying revelations come from retracing a path you thought was fully explored, armed with a new perspective. Sometimes the reason certain evidence has such high value is because it can lead to finding more evidence. You may be missing a huge puzzle. Oh strawberry, cool chocolate, bad blue raspberry, awesome apple, and power plum. Pointing to a green one. Or possibly a brown one, instead of just pointing to this one. 5 flavors because the original inventor had 5 kids. Maybe that's why kids still love them. Radical new flavors because it's no longer the 1920s. What even is an elderberry? Nope. Notable Roottrees. The Roottrees sisters, Carl Roottree, Elias, and Gwyneth Roottree. Yeah, I like that. Elias and Gwyneth were married. Gwyn Roottree,
Yeah, they're
Red
the starting ones.
Roottree, Tim Roottree, Lauren Roottree, Miracle Jr. Easy to find online. There's no hire you gave this list and said everyone on it could be found easily via your search engine. Carl Roottree, Elias, and Gwyneth Roottree. Oh look, we can like select that and then search it. Boom. The entry on the family tree that belongs to someone on this list will be marked as a star. Notable Roottrees will be crossed out after they are verified. His face, it's not happening. The Roottree sisters and their parents died in a plane crash on December 6th, 1998. The next evening, a shadowy figure appeared at your door and said the lawyers were looking to sort out the family tree. For a quick test, the figure gave you access to some resources, including a list of notable Roottrees. In the shady closet. Riot Girl. Notorious Montjoys. Has been. Put on your shoes. Outside. Not allowed. Talk to the duck. Oh. Hints. On the Cool Side by Kevin McLeod. That are Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0 license. So we can just skip some. Turn off thing. Enables search all for periodicals. Enabling this makes certain puzzles significantly easier. Oh, right. Okay. You can leave them on here.
Or have them stare at the
Okay, you're back.
on a middle piece, not an edge. Huh? The dishwasher in the drawer? In the silverware? haven't been.
Okay. Not an edge anyway.
Why? I don't like edges.
Babe, I can't find the little spatula. It's missing.
I forgot my decision.
Do they already have names?
And I just got their picture.
Why does this say unknown name?
We have to figure out her maiden name. But we know his name. And we have their pictures.
Where'd we get those?
Because I followed because I went to Carl Roottrees thing, and then I read through it, and found that he had been called, go back again, Carl Roottrees. I scrolled all the way down after reading all of this, and found that he earned the highly prestigious Watchman of the Year title. Like, oh. Like his great-grandfather before him, Carl earned the highly prestigious Watchman of the Year title. So I searched Watchman of the Year, which brought me to here. And there has been Roottrees. 2 Roottrees have been featured as Watchman of the Year, Elias Roottree and Carl Roottrees. We already knew Carl, so I looked up Elias Roottree, and I learned this information. Elias Roottree was the founder and first president of the Roottrees Candy Company. Find what is essentially a propaganda site about him created by the Roottrees Candy Company. At the top, there is a picture of him and his wife, Gwyneth. That picture has been added to your evidence. There's also a biography section that has some additional information. Elias is accredited for inventing 5 pieces of popular maple candy. Before that, the farm he inherited by marrying his wife only produced syrup. After 5 pieces became wildly successful, Elias spent his time and energy
That was maple candy?
energy on cementing his reputation as a family man. He is quoted on the site as saying, "Blood is thicker than syrup, and that any child linked by blood will be linked by blood, my legacy." The site enthusiastically claims that he made good on that promise, but offers no additional detail. There are a few more quotes about Elias from a book called Family Man, The Roottrees Legacy by Bess Williams. To say they are biased is a massive understatement. Below that, there's a long list of accomplishments and awards, and one stands out. Like his great-grandson Carl, Elias was voted Watchman of the Year. I tried to look up Family Man, The Roottrees, but it led me to
Poorly received book.
oh, I went to thing.
Correct.
Where are you here? I'm gonna go.
Incoming fall of 99. Gwyneth Anderson.
Ah.
Probably organized that.
And no brothers, so as the oldest sister, she was to inherit the Maple Farm, so long as she married. Until they decided to combine the maple with other flavors.
Anderson Maple.
To the board. For now.
What was he? Founder?
CEO.
Was farmer?
Housewife. I'd say.
Housewife owner.
And we can do Carl. Carl. You just need a picture.
I don't think we know that she was a housewife. Oh, but so daily demonstrations that Gwyneth would have used as a housewife in the early 1900s. How was he moving the mouse without using his hands?
I'm just gonna go to the picture. Who's that?
What?
Not racist.
How do you know that one's Carl?
I think that's different.
Oh, and Brenda?
Brenda. Okay, maiden name is. We just need a picture. That is the wrong.
The president of the Roottrees Candy Company.
There's. Presidents of.
Well, it was the clothing company Root, which he co-founded with.
President.
Right, a lot of results for Roottrees, extremely popular candy products.
So they're not
Cited
CEOs, they're
directly to
presidents.
the history section. Managed to work momentarily. The Roottrees Candy Company, founded by Elias Roottrees shortly after he married his wife Gwyneth. Reasons that aren't explained on the page. It has no CEO and no stockholders. Instead, it's run by a president. The input and votes from extended family. The site does mention that every president has been a direct descendant of Elias and Gwyneth, including Carl Roottrees, who, despite his death, is listed as the current president.
So he's the fifth.
Odd Pieces maple candies with 5 different flavors that are dipped in a crispy, crackly candy coating.
So, and Elias is the first CEO, but
First, second, third, fourth.
Oh, he's the current one.
I think fifth might be a red herring.
Then
I guess maybe it could have been like an uncle.
not Carl.
Like it could have been this guy, and then it switched, and then this guy, and then this guy.
Mom
and then
says
this
agree
guy,
about
and then
fifth.
this. I don't know. I'm thinking. Need 3 before they'll lock it. Bonus photos.
Go to before you continue searching. Go to your document.
Periodicals.
Business one. And then do Carl.
Printed something.
Cover for evidence. Go to evidence. Okay, we have a picture.
Photo of Watchman of the Year,
Last year.
87. A photo of him appears on the cover. According to cover, Business Watch is the magazine for and about corporate leaders and has ongoing coverage of the corporate world.
Carl's cousin, Jim Roottrees. I like that.
Carl was chosen not before his work at Roottrees Candy, but rather a clothing company, Root Dot. There's a brief history. Before they married, Carl's wife, Brenda, was a fashion consultant. When Raina was born, Brenda retired to become a stay-at-home mother. Looking for a creative outlet, she spent any free time she had at the sewing machine. Raina's new clothes were a hit with other parents, including Carl's cousin, Jim Roottrees.
A notable singer who had a young daughter.
Better? What pages would we organize these into?
I mean, we're probably gonna get a lot more, so we're probably organize them into.
Grabs life by the roots. Also, our ongoing coverage of who's who in the corporate world. They didn't have the word. By 1982, Brenda's patterns were being copied by other brands. Seeing the demand, Carl and his second cousin Ernie Jr., who had just become president of Roottrees time. Their blood relatives, who have a say in the company's finances, refused to fund anything other than candy. Carl personally spent his entire inheritance to bankroll the clothing company. When the profits began to appear, however, the rest of the family changed their tune. They repaid his investment. Now Root exists under the umbrella of the candy company, and they all benefit. For tradition or perhaps superstition, new clothes always debuted the way the first ones did. Raina became their catalog's cover model. As she grew, the product line expanded to older kids as well. Her younger sisters were then recruited to show off the baby clothes. Carl was voted Watchman of the Year primarily for his personal gamble and the ensuing payoff. Okay. It wasn't a red herring.
I was right. Yeah.
Booyah!
Okay, now we need.
If we find more pictures of them, we can put them in there.
Start. Or with the notable.
These three?
Not Carl. Elias.
Maybe we should go with notables first. They'll be
Okay.
easier.
Then
Fill
let's
in.
just head down the list of notes.
Notables. Find search. Find some information on a website about old films that are not yet available on VHS. Oh. The site is not very well organized and the search is broken, but you can get individual pages from your search. Gwyn Roottrees is a somewhat well-known actress who was active in the 1950s. She often appeared in tabloids, especially around the time of her highly publicized divorce. Also divorced. Biggest role was the minor hit movie Guys Like Us. He left Hollywood after the flop of Christmas Mission. Isn't that just Die Hard? There's a widely circulated picture of Gwyn from behind the scenes on one of her movies, which you've added to evidence. Did you know Gwyn was the granddaughter of Elias Roottree, the founder of Roottree Candy? Shouldn't have been named Roottree, but her father took her mother's famous name. Quite rare in those days. Photo is a widely circulated photo of Gwyn Roottrees. You've seen it on multiple websites about old films. Gwyn Roottrees is on the notable Roottrees list on your evidence. Be marked on the chart with a star. When is she?
She's divorced.
Granddaughter of.
Yes.
Elias.
The only so scroll that way. The only granddaughter that's divorced is that one.
Oh. Him. He was an
Actor.
He was married to somebody who took her last name.
No,
Last name?
her father took her mother's last name.
Huh.
Oh, we have her picture, don't we?
Okay. Fixed.
You don't have any more articles to go down.
Or we could search for these movies. A 1953 film in which two secretaries cut their hair short and pose as businessmen to get ahead in life. While one of them falls in love with their client and hilarity ensues, starring Gwyn Roottrees, Leslie Florence, and Harrison Lane. You know trivia, the title is a play on words. It can be read that the two women are men similar to other men, or that the men are fond of them. Oh, guys like us versus guys like us.
Okay,
Hey, the back button on my mouse worked. The television actor with a major role in Guys Like Us and some other films. His largest role before Guys Like Us was as the villain in the first season of Western Frontiers. Due to the popularity of Guys Like Us, the studio brought Lane back to play the villain's twin brother, this time as a hero joining the protagonist. Western Frontiers has no connection to the Roottrees. Harrison Lane seems to be a dead end. You know trivia, Harrison Lane married his high school sweetheart after they reunited.
maybe look up
About Christmas Mission.
Roottrees.
It's on a page called Flops. It was a war movie about World War I, released in 1955, that received poor reviews and lost the studio's money. Gwyn Roottrees had a role as a soldier's wife who wrote him letters from home. Incredible true story, but no records of the events happening has ever been. What are you saying?
Look up Gwyn divorce. This is a Wild Bill Williams. So look up Wild Bill.
Well, film's not available on VHS again. Leading man of some non-notable movies in the 50s. He appeared in an adventure movie called Fortune Favors the Grave, which is yet to be released for home audiences. You don't find any information. Known for his good looks and off-screen romances with blondes, he was married 4 different times to 4 different actresses. Famous Hollywood rumor that he approached Marilyn Monroe at a party and she was already aware of his record.
What's his?
Wild Bill.
No, like his actual name. One that we can put on the wall.
have to search it with the quotes. And a capital W.
You forgot an Ian Williams. That's why it wasn't working.
Okay.
Available. Leads back to if we go to the names, Williams.
Nobody.
So
Is his name William Williams? Yeah, maybe. We don't have the name in our list.
either that or his name is
like,
different.
His name is
different.
like, yeah. Divorced before the birth of her second.
Move on.
Okay. Red. Find information on the website about strange historical facts. Aloysius Herring Roottrees. Man, I would go by Red too. Was a judge and politician. Because under his nickname, ironically, because he was the ambassador to Ireland for only about 6 days. Does that make him Red?
Air Ireland?
Sometimes people have a nickname based on their last name, while the first name is not used at all. Oh, you're saying like his name isn't necessarily William Williams. Served what some people contend is the shortest term. This person's name is actually Fish Plant.
Yeah.
What?
Herring. Roottrees.
Okay, but is his name also Red Herring? The shortest term in history. A few days after he was appointed, he was heard disparaging his position and the Irish people. He then tried to run for state senate. He claimed to be related to the Roottrees Candy Company in a newspaper ad, but it came out that the last name was merely a coincidence. He was defeated in a landslide. He's not related,
I think
so he doesn't go on our board anywhere.
Or he is that weird area right there.
These are descendants of.
They don't actually connect.
This is connected by this marriage that got split up, like the rest of them. But it's got a weird dotted line.
A red herring.
Jim. James Roottrees is a singer who sings in the duo Jim and Diamond with his wife Diamond LaRue. Duo, according to many sources you find, is considered a one-hit wonder due to the disco song Rollin' On Down to the City, now in your evidence folder. Now. Seen in MMM. When the great-grandson of Elias Roottrees could make disco this sweet. Peter Novi. This was barely a top 20 hit for a few weeks in 1979. According to the liner notes, it satirizes how how a part of society was content to remain indifferent to economic inflation and civil unrest in the Middle East, unless pop culture tricked them into caring. Somewhat ironically, listeners didn't seem to pay attention to the lyrics enough to trick them into caring. Instead, most of its play came from roller discos. Because it was such a product of the time, it doesn't get much play anymore, even on stations that play oldies. Maybe that's why you'd never heard of it before now. This image is from an auction for a sealed copy. It has a sticker that says, "Only the great-grandson of Elias Roottrees can make disco this sweet." It is credited to Peter Janowicz. That's MMM. Music and lyrics by Jim Roottrees. Vocals by Jim Roottrees and Diamond LaRue. Jim Roottrees on the notable Roottrees. And it even has the lyrics. Ready for disco. While Jim writes the majority of songs, plays the guitar, and often sings, Diamond is considered by fans to be the band's lead singer. The band never had another hit, but has its fans who refer to themselves as Diamond's Dazzlers. The rest of their music is more folksy and acoustic than the one song they were known for. Jim and Diamond have continued to release music through the 80s and early 90s. Other albums you find mentioned are Cherry Tree and Sound of Laughter. Jim has become a bit of a recluse, and he hasn't made a public appearance since 1990. Oh, for printing. Diamond's Dazzlers is the name of an official fan club for Jim and Diamond. You'll find a forum post called Cool Things You Got in the Mail on a random forum about video games. Morphy mentions Jim and Diamond will send out a Christmas card every year to Diamond's Dazzlers, accompanied by some pictures as well as some history about the fan club. Apparently, even though it is no longer available to join, Jim and Diamond still honor it themselves personally. Here's debate in the subsequent posts about whether that's cool or pathetic. Amongst the pictures of Christmas cards from over the years, only one is relevant. The card from '96 included pictures of Jim and Diamond's young son, Wolf, as well as a note about his daughter's band, the Floozies. Fluzzies. Floozies. Floozies are an all-female punk band operating out of New York City. They're mentioned in passing in an online review from earlier this year. Apparently, they were the opening act for the band the reviewer actually came to see. The reviewer writes that she normally doesn't review the opening act, but this one was unusual, and not because the music, which she described as loud, fast, and repetitive, but not in the good way. It was extremely cagey about their identities. The reviewer asked the venue who they were, and she was told they were rumored to be the children of other famous musicians and didn't want that to be why they became popular. The reviewer also mentioned that for an underground and unknown band with absolutely no following, their equipment was all extremely expensive, and not only were they selling CDs, but they only cost $1. They probably were losing a fortune. The reviewer said, although she bought a copy, she would be unlikely to ever listen to any of it again, except maybe Beef Baby. What? The 7th track. There's no picture of the Floozies performing live. The cover from the CD they were selling, Conquistador, been added to your evidence. Beef Baby. Can't actually find anything else about it anywhere. Could it be a euphemism or about a newborn cow? Perhaps the Floozies are holding a grudge against a toddler? Dang. Are you all ready for this? This is the Christmas card. Jim and Diamond to their fan club. Oh, it's a picture of his son Wolf. Beastable. On the cover say guitars, vocals, Candy, bass, Nikki, drums, Nina. This is Candy. Playing a regular guitar, not a bass.
Yeah, and we know Candy is one of the. There's a tree called Candy. On our name.
Jim's daughter. Put him anywhere?
That one, probably. Yeah, because it has a ton of pictures. But do scroll that way. Yeah, the only one notable is that one.
Or this one. This one only had one kid. Must be
And the
this
kid
one.
isn't
James.
James.
The daughter older?
Yes.
That's funny. Candy Roottrees and the Roottrees Candy Company. What was the wolf?
He's clearly like young. He's a musician. I would say he's a student.
Oh. Got 3 of them. Ooh, yeah. Story time.
You're on a roll. I'll try to keep that momentum going. Carl's office was a mess, thanks to some burst pipes. But I unearthed a photo from a 1970s Roottrees reunion. I also found some important-looking papers. You've traced 9 blood relatives so far. I'll have more to share after you find 9 more.
9 more?
We already have Wolf, so.
Better for Butler County. Buried under a ton of other mail that Carl left in his inbox. It has a handwritten note attached that seemed personal. Flyer about a candidate for local office, Stephanie Jones. On the back is an excerpt from a newspaper article from the Butler County Times about her campaign. Stephanie may have grown up in an unconventional family, to say the least, but in her words, it was still full of love. Now, 22 years later, with a baby of her own due around Christmas, the message for voters is simply, love is our future. Handwritten note says, Carl, I know we don't see eye to eye when it comes to the candy company, but if you could talk to your girls about putting out a statement supporting Stephanie, you could use the publicity your daughters bring. Don't let our conflict spread to the next generation. See ya. Has a note attached from your employer. Here's a bonus. When I pulled the water damage picture of the free spirits out of the frame, this fell out too. And on the back of the photo is, couldn't make the reunion, wishing you well from Paris, Gwen and the boys.
We have another.
Stick that on our thing before we forget who it is. Heck is she?
Oh, there.
And the boys.
You don't know who's older or younger.
Well, this guy looks older.
Okay, that way.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, evidence again.
This photo was tucked inside an envelope with a letter beneath a candle. Wait. Why do you keep taking his collar off?
Because I'm not cuddling him without his collar. His collar is annoying when I'm trying to cuddle.
Alright, I asked. Carl and Brenda, I'm sorry you were unable to attend the funeral. It's traditional to have it as soon as possible, and Ernie, more than anyone else on Earth, knew how busy your job can be. What was Ernie's job? What does he know more than anyone else on Earth? I've enclosed a Shiva candle identical to ours if you'd like to pay your respects, though it's not expected for those outside of the faith. Ernie was a man full of love, not only for his family, but for his family's legacy. He had an immense amount of pride for the work you three did together, as well as how Carl has carried on for him after taking over. For myself...
Okay, Ernie is the fourth person.
Oh, yeah. As for myself, it is impossible to express my gratitude enough for rescuing us from the panic and burden of endless bills. Though we caught it too late for him to get on the donor list, the company took care of us beyond our wildest expectations. And unsaid at the time, but Ernie and I knew it had to have been Carl that convinced the trust that it was no coincidence that it happened shortly after your visit, Brenda. Up until the end, Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. We could never have done that much without you. The two of you fighting for us. Much love, Debbie.
Great. Fine. Well, we can always
Ernie's
look up
funeral.
Ernie's. Alright.
Ernie's last name.
Ernie Roottrees.
Wrong. Ernie short for. Ernest Madsen. Okay. Who are these?
Debbie and Nicole.
Oh gosh. A lot of faces. It's gonna be like impossible to find people now. But as a note attached from your employer, every 20 or so years, the Roottrees would hold a big reunion and recreate an old family photo. This is the one from the 70s, and Carl's the teenager in the middle. One?
No.
He's got no facial hair. Sorry about the water damage. A pipe burst in Carl's office. On the back of the photo, in childish print writing,
Junior.
it says November.
He was a junior.
There are also a large number of cursive signatures. They include Bonnie, next President Guy Hudson, Ernie Jr., Caroline, Gwyneth M., Gwendolyn, Miracle Jr., Jim Roottree, Clark, Carl, and Eli M. I mean, probably these people. Next President Guy Hudson. Fancy Flavors was an addition to the 5-piece product line for less than a year in 1970. Guy Hudson's first and historically most cited move as president of Roottrees. In an attempt to cater more towards what he thought the average person wanted, Guy looked at his own wealth, which was often a source of envy for others, and decided to tap to the idea that if they added fancy flavors to 5 pieces, anyone could live like the wealthy. This philosophy led to a flavor in 5 pieces that was meant to mimic caviar. 5 pieces sold less that year than it had any other year except in some foreign markets. Very quickly announced that caviar was meant to be a limited flavor and would go back to normal as soon as possible. Weird.
Look at the story one so the pop-up goes away.
After some time, they returned with new resources, a photo of Carl's generation taken in the mid to late 1970s, as well as some papers and mail from his office. Makes a noise.
Let's do notables.
Noted notables. Probably also go to bed.
Do one more and then go to bed. More person.
Author Lauren Roottrees, a distant relative of the Roottrees sisters, is known for her book A Life Between Wars. According to a website about famous authors in the early 1960s, Lauren released a few romance novels under her married name, Lauren Rafferty, with little fanfare. When her publisher learned she had been keeping diaries about her famous family, they insisted that she release them under her original name, Lauren Roottrees, to take advantage of her family's notoriety. A selection of diary entries released in 1965 as A Life Between Wars spans between the untimely death of her husband in World War II to coping with the post-war world as a young widow and mother, as well as her perspectives on changing times and socialites all the way through the entry into Vietnam. While the content is not considered particularly relevant to modern audiences, it has found new life as an exercise in high school English classes, show an evolution in writing style, and for a look into life in previous generations. After the success of her diaries, her publisher re-released her romance novels under the name Lauren Roottrees. These included Romance in Court, which gained popularity. He followed the re-release up by writing 2 new sequels, creating what fans referred to as the Court Jester series. If you haven't seen the movie The Court Jester, you should go see it. Great. You find no recent details about Lauren, though she's listed as retired. But she doesn't like them.
But
it's great.
You have that movie?
Uh-huh.
Where?
Might not have it on DVD. I might have it on Play.
Another one.
Romance? What? Same one.
One under.
Romance in Court is a book by Lauren Roottrees. It is the first and
Mother
most
really
famous
doesn't
of
like
a
it.
series of 3 books, often called the Court Jester series. All 3 books in the series are about different romances. What? Told via the same narrator. You can probably surmise the narrator's profession. The other 2 books were called Return to Court and New Romance. Okay. Which one is she?
Well, her child had to
It's
get married.
this one or that
because-
one? Both of them have married children. This one had 2 divorces. One with a child, one. One without, one with a child. And then another 2 children.
Does that mean that person married twice?
Yeah, and 3 times. This person married that person, married that person, married that person.
What were they on?
I don't know.
That must be, whatever the junior one.
Because this talked about Mary named Lauren Rafferty, but doesn't say she married 3 people.
Yeah.
I
Well,
would
Miracle Jr. probably has.
guess that this one's Lauren. You don't have a picture.
Something Rafferty.
It's Clark Jacob.
It's not.
Maybe this is her.
Not Mary Johns. You look up Miracle Jr. I can
Yeah, okay.
probably.
Miracle Jr. doesn't go by his full name in promotional materials. Instead, he has shortened it to Miracle Jr. Miracle Jr. is a televangelist who's part of the Miracle Network. He used to have a show that aired on local access across many stations in the northeastern United States. According to a website called Clergy Watch, he was exposed and subsequently charged with conspiracy to defraud the public in 1979 when he claimed to heal someone in a wheelchair. A news expose revealed it was his wife, Edith's sister, in a disguise. The author also mentions that Edith had a bit of a checkered past herself, but doesn't clarify. He lost his television show, instead goes on tour across the southern United States, where he was not well known before the scandal.
It's full name.
It doesn't say. Printed something. You find a website for the Miracle Network, a production company run by the Miracle Roottrees estate. Right, Bare Bones has the following blurb. Witness the testimonies of the Miracle's Roottrees. Miracle Roottrees arrived so late in his mother's life the doctor swore he wouldn't survive his first year. Mother and father, Elias and Gwyneth, named him Miracle because they thought him impossible. He was younger than his brothers and sisters by over 14 years. Wow. With a birth that late, the final child of his generation was nearly torn apart by countless health problems. Who's this one?
Oh, that's Miracle Jr.
No, this is Miracle Senior.
Yes, but that is Miracle Jr.
All right.
So Lauren must have been.
That would make this one Miracle the Third. What was his occupation? Miracle Juniors? Televangelist. Scam artist. Religion? Preacher.
Yeah, let's keep looking at miracles. Oh.
Our child was nearly torn apart by countless health problems, but still with the power of God on his side, he persevered. Triumphed over these complications, even regained his sight to spread the healing word of the Almighty. So he was also a preacher. 23 years later, Miracle Roottrees Jr. arrived and became the famous family's second vessel for the higher power. At 18, he unburdened himself from the Roottree name and took his father's testimony to a whole new level. Via the power of television, Miracle Jr. spread the gospel across the entirety of New England. He has since left the life of glamour and glitz behind to reach those places that need it most. Power of the Lord coming to a town near you. Below the blurb is a flyer about the tour. Flyer for the 3 Generations of Miracles tour. Flyer is a few years old. It comes from 96. Names listed are Miracle Jr., who is said to be world famous and gets top billing. Miracle Jr. is on the notable Roottrees list. Miracle Roottree, who the flyer says will make a special appearance. Miracle Third and his wife Nicole, who are said to be the youth pastors.
I would assume
This
Miracle
is
Jr.
Miracle
is the big
Jr..
one. And
This is
Third.
Miracle Third. His wife Nicole.
Lying in his father.
Do we know?
No, Edith, then that's it. He's that one. Eh.
What? I thought that
Or
was
no,
third.
that's third. Yeah, so it's no one.
Oh, yeah, okay.
They all look the same.
Yep.
So she married a Rafferty. Well, all of these are all Rafferty.
Well, I was
not-
wondering, what...
Yeah.
So Rafferty LaRue is probably because this person is LaRue. Those are only girls.
It can be boy.
Has a girl symbol next to it.
Oh.
Wait.
That's. Oh. Lawrence Child.
Lawrence Child was the... Okay, yeah.
The one with the butt ton of scandals.
Chris Clark or Jacob?
Lafferty? Yep. Rafferty.
Roottrees Rafferty?
Or Rafferty Rudy.
That's a last name.
Yes! Okay, look up some of her Rafferty. Like Jacob Rafferty. Clark.
Fan sites from the band Jim and Diamond seem to mention that he used to make music with Clark Rafferty. One called These Times. Band called C and J plus J and D. What a name that is. Released one single called These Times. Someone with the username XXX Diehard Dazzler XXX scanned the cover and noted that it cost him over $200 at auction. Apparently this is Jim Roottrees and Diamond LaRue's first song together. He also mentioned it was performed with Jim's cousin and Diamond's sister, and that it was only somewhat similar to Jim and Diamond's later works. If you find anything else about Die Hard Dazzler, the band, or the single, all that's left to do is add the scan to your evidence. After a blazing fast 35-minute download, the track is also available. 4 people?
Yeah. One is Diamond's
C
sister.
and J and J and
One
D.
is the Rafferty we're looking for.
Yes.
Life is life, love shall
For Clark.
be. Me for you, and you for me. Someday will come, though, that this
35, yeah, so on days of like dial-up, you would have to wait like 35 minutes to download a song illegally.
all paths diverge, rivers rambling, onward surge. One source behind old
Folk style songwriting. Catchy.
find their ways to different seas. Someday
It's
these times
Jim and Diamond
over.
and Clark and Jane.
So take my hand beneath the tree.
I mean, it's not terrible.
So Clark must be the child because it's James's cousin. So that's Clark. And he must have gotten with Jane. Maybe not that one is Jane. I would assume all the children would be. Jane's children.
All the children? Or just two of them?
Those two children. Whichever ones. Is how many Rafferty LaRue names are there?
Two.
Yeah, so it must be.
Jessica and Katrina.
Yeah, so he must have married Jane recently.
That's accurate.
What color is Diamond's hair?
Blonde.
These times are ours for free. Someday these times will all be over.
Who's the other one? What was his occupation? The only singer?
These times are ours for free.
Wait. Something isn't right.
But the wolf. But student.
Hey, look at that. X is here.
Who did we get right?
Wolf.
And
And the preachers. Also lock the following optional entries. Ooh yeah! This is maybe not correct. For this. We leave them there?
Yeah.
I mean, until we have somewhere else to put them. Dex, thank you for the raid. How was the F-Zeros? Alright, are we quitting? Did we finish
The puppies
everything?
think it's bedtime.
Of course they
went
do.
out.
Didn't
Lauren
post
Roottrees still has
Roottrees.
more things. Didn't lock either. Oh, right, we don't have a.
We?
Food law.
Right. Give me a
Okay.
picture.
Look up Lauren.
Available in a lot
So
of libraries.
look up instead of Lauren Roottrees, Lauren Rafferty.
Same
same-
page. Anyway, welcome in, Raiders. We're searching the internet on a Windows 98 computer. But then it doesn't actually show us any of the web pages. It just gives us a text-based summary of them. Public library. What was the name of the book? Out of print. No copies available. Available. 1968, softcover fiction romance. About the author blurb mentions she had the inspiration from one of her brother Clancy's lectures. Too many possible brothers.
That's a lot of brothers. Okay, what's the name of her diary? Life Between Wars.
Would you look that up in the library?
Yeah, Lauren Roottrees and Life.
Printing. You hit the jackpot here. This is a book occasional. Printing a lot of things. You printed 7 things. This is a book occasionally taught in schools. You even find a hardcover edition for students that has full-page, high-quality pictures in it. A summary of the contents of the book, photos, as well as some particularly relevant entries from the diary have been. Below are notes and observations you made while skimming through Lauren Roottrees' diary pages in A Life Between Wars. Or Worlds, one of those. Lauren Roottrees on the notable... Yeah. The book was published in 1965 and consists of diary entries that stretch from 1940 to 1965. The most important event, much of the diary and Lauren's thoughts revolve around, was the loss of her husband, Jacob. Jacob died in the final months of World War II while Lauren was pregnant. This left her to raise her son Clark alone. Lauren never remarried and only had 1 child. Skimming the pages of the diary, you glean the following information. She was the granddaughter of Elias and Gwyneth on her father's side. Her mother's family was called the Cossells, but she hardly ever mentions them. Her father, who she always refers to as Pop, was the head lawyer for the Roottrees Candy Company. Helped write a legal document. Okay. Like 80 things we need to fill in. What father's name?
He's just. Hey,
Mother's family is the Cassells. Pop, the head lawyer for the Roottrees. That's a lawyer. Pop. Cassell. Look at that.
Let's look at the other ones before we get lost in the Clanced Trust.
Called the Clanced Trust. What a name that is.
Yeah. They're from context. So the Roottrees have internal shorthand names for the different generations of their family. Lauren uses them often. First generation, the next generation. Free spirits. So Carl is part of the free spirits. That's what the other thing was referring to.
Mm-hmm.
So the next generation is Lauren's generation. So anyone referred to as the next is from her generation. 5 pieces of it's the children.
These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One of which is Miracle.
Because he was born 14 years
He's
after.
14 years younger than this sibling. Wild. Okay. Entry entitled Complaints from Lauren Roottrees' diary written in 1953. Entry seems to focus specifically on one of Lauren's family members, Gwyn, who is on the notable Roottrees list. Seems everyone has something to complain about. Gwyn, as an only child, complained of loneliness. I told her that being expected to watch after 3 younger brothers didn't feel like a blessing, but it fell on deaf ears. During the summer, where I went to stay with her and Aunt Margot, I hoped she would be the sister I never had and that I'd do the same for her. I even tried to dye my hair blonde to fit in with the two of them. What a mess. She just complained. To her, I was the lucky cousin. Yeah, that's true, but there's also a bunch of kids in between us. It's not like had 4 kids, 14-year gap, one more. Like, that's way huger. Her, I was the lucky cousin. Now she's off living the glamorous life while I'm stuck here with Clark. I must admit, seeing her everywhere contributes to my unhappiness. Her visage stares at me even now from my coffee table. She gets to be in Starlet and tell tales of how she gallivants around the world, kissing the likes of Harrison Lane and Wild Bill Williams. She's the first Roottrees woman to be anything other than a housewife, and I'm jealous. If I were not a single mother, could I make my own way in this world? But I'm off topic. A girl with all the luck in the world was jealous of me. And now, though I have been undoubtedly burdened by terrible tragedy, I am also lucky to be born into a family that can support me for eternity. I can raise a child without worry, unlike countless other widows. If any of them were to hear me complaining, they would rightfully scoff, just like I do at Gwyn. Nice.
Oh, dude.
What?
He's looking like right here.
No. Entry entitled Dynasty from Lauren Roottrees. We should read these later. Look at Lauren's diary contains some labeled pictures. This is the 5 pieces.
He was so little. Miracle was tiny.
Caption: this picture is famous in our house. Pop even had it framed. That's him on the left. Taken in 1935 to celebrate the move to the new warehouse that Eli Jr. designed. Angie and I both wanted to be in the photo since Miracle was in it, and the 3 of us were all about the same age. We were told only the 5 pieces. Really didn't go over well, to say the least. Eventually, I suppose to stop the tantrums, they posed us in front of the camera with Mr. Morden, who was there with Aunt Gwendolyn. Found out years later, they never even took a second photo.
Alright, so before we lose the photo, go put in Pops' photo. Yes.
Him on the left.
So, the one in the middle. Yes.
I have Miracle.
The little dude.
Where are the other ones?
The other piece. But Lauren was the same age as Miracle.
Right. Important. Angie. First diary contains some labeled pictures. This is the next generation.
Including, Miracle.
Caption: an attempt to recapture the spirit of the 5 pieces photo with our generation. For old time's sake, we gathered on the warehouse floor. I wanted Eli to stand all the way on the left. To me, he looked a lot like Pop did in the old one. I was outvoted by my brothers. I insisted the 4 of us stand together, so we clumped up in the middle and let everyone filter in behind and in front of us. Only one too good to make an appearance was Gwyn. Grandma insisted we include Sam even if we didn't want it to. None of us understood why, including Sam. I also didn't think it fair. Is that the little boy, Sam?
Probably, yeah.
I also didn't think it fair Miracle made it in, since he's technically a 5-piece. Him, right?
Yeah. He was blonde.
I guess my inner child still holds a grudge even after all these years.
Maybe we could swap photos because I think the Miracles should all have matching photos.
Can't see his rainbow tie. You know his occupation? Was?
Because he got healed by the Lord and he was like, I must share with everyone.
Okay, so it said Clumped up in the middle and let everyone filter in behind and in front of us.
Yes.
Who is we? 4 of us.
Where did my pen go?
Beautiful.
My pointy pen.
So it's the 4 in her generation?
The 4 of her and her brothers.
Ah. So there are these 2 brothers and a sister. Oh no. She's the girl. Wait. I don't remember what the other ones looked like. That guy, and then that guy.
And he's Eli Jr. No, that's a different man. That's
Well, that's him.
okay.
And
Who
that
looks
one, that one.
the most like opted in the old one? The youngest one. One of them. One of them is Eli Jr.
It's the one without the funny part in his hair.
Yeah. I think the one they did is the one all the way on the left.
Hang on. What? I thought we were saying.
Yeah, no, but Miracle's son is Miracle Jr.
Is that his son?
Quite clearly. Doesn't he have the hand on the shoulder?
Yeah, but. Been in pictures.
Whatever.
But also, who is Sam? Where does he go?
I don't know.
Who knows? No, we just need to get the. Oops. I don't
Maybe
know that.
look up 5 pieces. Oh, it was just a lot of chocolate.
Sweet History of Candy Volume 2 by Charles Lee.
Here, stop making Grandma's toast.
Printing! This is part of a book series about all things candy in the modern world. It starts in 1925 and continues onward to chronicle the rise of mass production and global distribution. The book ends with a look into the future of candy as envisioned by the experts in 1985. The addition of hindsight, you can clearly see they got pretty much everything wrong. Includes some print advertisements. You find a newspaper ad for 5 pieces from the 1930s. It's a miracle, a modern candy for a modern society. Roottrees 5 pieces contain 5 different maple-infused flavors. The Roottrees are a proud family business and our favorites are inspired by our children. E is for grape, E is for elderberry, CE is cinnamon extract, M is for melon, and introducing M for miracle berry. Miracle berry is a burst of beautiful blossoming blended berries. Try it today.
So, the children start with G, E, M.
Look,
Wait.
F2.
Let me write it down.
This wasn't as helpful as I hoped. What are we trying to find out? Dad's name is
It's no, go back.
Pop.
Go
Lawrence
back.
Pop. Beautiful blossoming blended berries. Hey, I had half these abs. GG, SG chat.
Look at the male names. M. Roottrees.
See him?
Wait, is he the one right before?
Margalite and Miracle. Third.
So he. Clancy Edwards. Edward.
Look at that. We did it. Locked in everyone on the notable Roottrees list. We got a gold star achievement for it. Oh yeah.
You're listening to WRTG.
It's time for your headlines. Once an hour, every hour, on the 45. It's a bizarre development to an already tragic tale. In the wake of the accident that took his life, some of Carl, most notably, of that Carl had on his office wall. We interviewed a local psychologist about who would do such a thing and why. For that article, search online for WRTD News. Again, that's WRTD.
Their local investigative jazz radio station. In their news segments at 45 minutes on the hour, they've been talking about the plane crash. The most recent hour, they also talked about a picture taken from Carl's office after the plane crash. Promised an interview online with a psychologist. During the interview, it's revealed there wasn't a break-in. Instead, someone with a key to the office took the picture after discovering the pipes burst due to the recent storm. It means it was likely someone close to family who was aware of the photo's history and wanted to save it. That's our boss they're talking about. Their psychologist, however, also goes on to post the culprit had an alternate agenda, specifically because nobody in the family has come forward to say they have it in their possession. Comment below the article says, "Don't believe their lies. This is just another instance of the root tree curse being a real true thing. I bet you Carl was murdered and the picture had evidence on it."
Okay, look up Roottrees.
Thought we were going to bed.
Well, this is interesting. So.
It's a
After
long,
this one.
rambly conspiracy website with very small, very red text on a black background that says the root trees are cursed. It has been very recently updated with the following. Important update. With Carl and Brenda and their girls, that makes 5 new deaths. Not only that, but 3 of the 5 presidents of the root tree company have just died mysteriously. They say, guy's car was hidden by a drunk driver. Junk driver. He drives junkers. In 1982, but nobody was arrested. Then Ernie Madsen Jr. stepped down. Was he poisoned? Now, just this week, Carl died in a plane crash. This cannot be a coincidence. Another entry that claims that if you connect the dots in the pattern of the 5 pieces wrapper, it creates a Mayan ruby skull. A secret message meant to subliminally scare people away. The post before that has a link to a site that talks about how Earth has 4-corner simultaneous 4-day time cubes. What? The author of the site seems to agree. An entry from a few months ago claims the owner of the site received an email from Chris Raff75 at prodigy.us asking him to take down a site with faked proof that Ernie Madsen Jr. actually had a heart condition and wasn't poisoned. That is a crazy message, yeah. The owner claims that although the proof looks quite credible, he knows that the proof was fake because he's an expert at creating fake evidence. The first entry is from 1996 and has a blurry picture of the Roottrees Candy Company factory, seemingly taken by the website's author from behind a fence and through some trees. It seems that Operation RT-29 is real. I witnessed a helicopter land on February 29th. Is that the same 29? 1996. The website footer says all images and ideas by Thomas Overwood. Thomas Overwood seems to have a few different sites about mysterious deaths and curses. In addition to the Roottrees Curse website, you also find one about the truth behind Spirit Cola, which claims that Spirit really stands for Satan's Plague is returning in 2000. Okay. And that in the year 2000, anyone who has drunk Spirit Cola will die. Another website is Stock Markets and the Devil's Numbers, which claims that if you multiply any stock's price by 666, then also multiply the current year by that same stock price, then add those two numbers together and divide the entire total by the stock price, and finally subtract the current year. Like, this is just stupid. Yeah, if you take 1 and add 2 and then subtract 2, you get 1. Wow. Go figure. That's exactly what they're doing here. Take the stock's price, multiply the current year by the stock price, divide by the stock price again, subtract the current year, like... Oh. Okay, what were we looking at?
This tells us, that it's Ernie Madison Jr. That was, the Ernie that was pregnant.
Okay. Do you know where he is?
Ernie.
Who's one of these two?
Not the next one. Ernie.
That this one or this
You're
one?
the-
I don't know what you're telling me.
Same generation as Carl.
Wait. We didn't fill another picture. We'll just get locked when... the next time something gets locked. Correct? What is that?
Okay, maybe we should stop.
Let's see. How long before they're set to return, you heard something odd on WRTD radio. The photo you were given may have been stolen from Carl's office. Newscaster mentioned you should search online for WRTD to find out more.
Okay,
I'm
we
gonna
should
leave
stop.
this unread so we remember to read them. Do I save and quit?
It was that page.
Save and quit! Butler, Pennsylvania. Do we know it was Pennsylvania?
Goodbye forever.
Alright, goodbye forever, Mrs. Spleebette. Raid Meowski again so he can quit again. He just beat blind, and he's doing blind RTA, so like that's absolutely what's happening. Sub 9. Anyway, maybe we'll do some more of this tomorrow. No, tomorrow I have to do NMG because I have a race on Sunday morning. So maybe we'll do this Sunday night. Or afternoon. I don't know. Whatever. Okay. Bye-bye. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.